Welcome back to the Forex Fortress, of which today is a very special day, being it's election day. So all sorts of geopolitical events going on right now, and that means no trading for me. I have no interest in such things, but for all the cavaliers out there who really want to, or really just can't stop the trading itch bug, then fair enough. We'll talk about some good old analysis on the Forex lands right now. Anyways, I do want to preface this whole conversation by saying I would not be trading any of this. Like I said, I'm not trading today, and I have no interest in trading today. I'll come back tomorrow and just look through all of the destruction in the rubble after this. So with that in mind, we'll start it off as always with Dixie. And what do we see on Dixie? Or sorry, first we should probably follow up on yesterday. We did say yesterday downside in Dixie down to about 93.70 to 93.80ish region, of which that target was met and actually exceeded a little bit, as it does head down a little bit further in the last 12 or so hours, down to about 93.5 bucks, of which I would be looking for a short-term bounce here and likely a little bit of further downside implied after that. Looking at this right here, we do have lower highs on the daily, and looking at momentum oscillators, this is a bit of a bearish reset as far as the daily goes. Now again, long term, talking like years and years out, I am actually pretty damn bullish on this one. But again, for the short term, what does that mean? Well, it means a little bit of range on the lows as it currently is right now. So yes, short term bouncy bounce. Let's go down into the very short term time frames. Yeah, be looking for a bounce, maybe back up towards about 93.70, 93.75ish region, and then probably some more downside implied after that. So that's going to help set in the bias for all the major US dollar pairings right here, as it is going to likely align with extremely short-term pullbacks and then more medium-term continuations to the upside most likely. So with that in mind, let's start it off down the list, going down on the list. It started off with Aussie dollar right here, of which yesterday we did have a short-term target to the upside, somewhere around 70.80 to 70.90ish region, of which that has obviously been not just hit but mostly exceeded, and I would be looking for a little bit of a short-term pullback on this one, maybe even all the way back down towards about 70.90ish region. This one is, well, now that I look at it on the daily, I should not be thinking about that. Yeah, or sorry, at least I should be thinking about short-term downside. Yes, towards about, what was it, 70. Hey, hold on, something's not matching up here with the daily and the 4-hour. Okay, 70. Yes, 71. Oh wow, it's actually 71, not 70.90. So maybe my downside would have been a little bit too aggressive right there. Yeah, on the daily, this one actually does likely continue onwards and upwards to the upside, but I would be looking for a pullback short term towards 71 even though it's not that great of a move right here. More medium term based off the daily, actually would be looking for this one to make another stint back up towards about 71.5 cents. Again, this is political time, so I really don't feel all that confident on this, but if I'm just looking at straight up chart analysis right here, trading price action, then in this case, yes, I would be looking for a little more upside. Like I said, about 71.5 to about 71 3/4. Let's move down the list, and this is usually like one of the weaker ones too, so I'm very interested to see what's happening on maybe even CAD dollar, which is actually another weaker one too, but not as weak as Aussie dollar. And yeah, there we go, big old move to the upside. I believe yesterday we were looking for a move towards 75.50ish region, of which we got that, and not only got that but exceeded it. Now again, same thing on this one, probably would be looking for some short-term downside, like very, very short-term downside. Looking at a 4 right here, we might have already even had it, because my target would have been 75.80ish region, and we got down to 75.90. Close enough in that regard. And after that, would I be looking for another test of the upside? Yes, I would. I'd be looking for 76.25 and potential for continuation on top of that over time. But I really want to see how tomorrow sets in. Again, today being a weird day, I really don't trust what I'm seeing on the charts, to be quite honest with you. Swiss franc dollar, what do we see here? Same sort of thing, except this one a little more under pressure. That's kind of funny, because we typically look at Swiss franc dollar as typically one of the more stronger ones, actually. But looking at that daily right here, yeah, I do think that it continues up a little bit more towards about 109.5, maybe 110 or 109.75. Anywhere around there would be good, and then a little bit of a short-term pullback after that. Euro pound, a bit of an outlier right here, and I'd be looking for some downside based off this one. I'd still kind of hold on to my 89.5 cent target right here. Obviously, that was not hit in the last day, but I'd still essentially be looking for that, and be looking also for a bounce off that level as well. What about euro dollar? Playing out a little bit of a bouncy the upside as well. I believe we had a 116.90 target from yesterday. Somewhere around here is what I remember. Yeah, about 116.90. Obviously that was hit, and then a little bit exceeded on this. At the same time as well. I'd actually be looking for this one extremely short term to trade back down towards 116.80, and then I actually don't have a strong opinion on this one. Oh, sorry about that. Beef coming up right now. Anyways, I've been in a very, because today I'm like not trading at all. I've been in a very intense VR session recently, and it's been fucking amazing. Holy shit. If you're into gaming and you haven't played Half-Life Alyx in VR, you haven't done anything in your life. I'm telling you that right now. No, of course, just kidding. But Jesus Christ, man, that game is not only freaky and creepy, but it's just really, really phenomenal what they're doing with these things. Blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. All right. Well, anyways, let's actually talk about something that fucking matters right here. And what do we have on the on the weekly and daily? I'd still kind of remain overall angled on the downside on this one, so that does make it a little bit more difficult. After a very short-term pullback here, would I be looking for another swipe to the upside? Maybe yes, towards 117.5, but this one looking a little bit less obvious than the other ones because I'm still bearish on the weekly and the monthly. The question is here, how high do we get on this next rally? I do think that it could extend a little bit more, like I said, about 117.5 region, and then I really want to see it coming back tomorrow. I don't want to kind of say anything more than that. Anyways, moving on to pound yen, my favorite little shitcoin to trade. And what do we have here? A little bit of short-term upside. Probably does extend this run towards 136 and 669 cent. Maybe a little bit more than that over the long period of time, but I just want to see this next kind of day of price action. Weekly, again, still phenomenally bearish. Monthly, still phenomenally bearish as well. And if we go down to the very low-term time frames, yeah, short-term continuation to the upside implied here. So like I said, about 136 and 66 cents. Pound dollar, what do we see here? We see some more upside as well. Actually, the pullback that I would be looking for has already happened right there. Also averting a death cross in the process as well. So I would probably extend this run towards about 130 and a quarter. Yeah, 130 and a quarter. We'll say right there with potential for more over time. Looking at the daily, yeah, it's kind of putting a little bit of a higher low in the short term. And what about the weekly? It's, again, still long term. This is an absolute piece of garbage, but yeah, short term probably does extend the run a little bit more. What else we got? We got yen dollar right here, one of the more strong ones, and it's kind of strange because the typically more strong ones like Swiss franc dollar and yen dollar, both kind of showing relative weakness in the short term. Very interesting to see, very interesting to see, and I'm curious what that means in the greater scope of things. But again, it just being a weirder time, I'm more akin to just throwing things out of the window and saying, well, it's just one of those days. And in this case right here, actually would be a little bit more downside angled based upon this, but if you do get a daily close today anywhere above about 95.60, I would be more immediately bullish. But for right now, it actually does have more pressure onto the downside. Again, this one I do not feel confident on. It's not as obvious as the other ones, and that is also in the face of, like I said, political situations going on right now. Trying to see if there's anything of interest right here on the very low term time frames. If anything on the very low term time frames, be looking for this one to come back down towards 95.30ish region. I'd be short term bearish on this one in comparison to the other ones. Very strange, very strange right there. Let's go follow up on Nasdaq as well. I'm curious how this one's going into the trading day as well, and yeah, a little bit of short term upside. I'd still stick with my overall disposition of looking for a bounce off this region. Could it come back down and swipe like 11,000 even? Yeah, very possible. But again, I'm looking at this as at the very least a short-term and likely medium-term bottoming area, and I'd be having targets towards about 11,350, maybe even 11,400, and probably come back to it after that. What else do we got? Do we have anything more of interest? We could look at gold dollar right here, back up towards 1900 and beyond, and I'd actually be looking for this one to pop back up a little bit more than that. I believe yesterday we did have a target between 1895 and 1900. Obviously that was met, and yeah, I would extend this one a little bit more short term towards 1914, 1915-ish region. Again, long term, I'm actually really split on this one. I'm neither bullish nor bearish on it. I am more so waiting and just kind of looking at the short term. But yeah, actually short term, I would be bullish on this one. And then I suppose it's time to wrap things up with Bitcoin and go over this baby one more time. Go over me, baby, one more time. It's like a good song. I think I'm going to be wrong about at least looking for like short-term downside today. Obviously, I guess that's not exactly what I've been saying anyways. What I've been saying is that sideways for maybe a day or two and then resolve below here. And actually, I would hold on to that. I do think that Bitcoin will come back down probably somewhere around the 12.9 or 12.8 to 12.9 base right here. But again, I need to see this area break first and foremost, either a 4-hour total closure below 13,350 or a 2-hour below 13,300 13,800 even would do it for me. And for right now, does it look like it's going to pop back up and test around this blue box territory somewhere around maybe 13,650 to maybe even 13,700? Yeah, very possible. Does have a chance right here. We do see momentum oscillators pointed back up and northwards. 4-hour Stokes having a fresh cross the upside. 3-hour Stokes. Yep, there we go. All right, so to the downside, 2-hour flip-flopping around. This is why I hate trading. This is so fucking reminiscent of what a day like today is going to be, where you see something like this. Likely does lead up with another upside test, though, to be fair. But like I said, I actually would, I am bearish on the range resolution, but the range likely does produce another bounce, or at least another attempt back up to the tops of the range before this one's all said and done. And of course, I can be very phenomenally wrong on this too. Any sort of a 2-hour or 4-hour total closure above 13,800, and yeah, Crown's going to be wrong AF, and we'll probably head back into the low $14,000 region, maybe 14.1 or 14.2 target. I mean, at the very least, 13,950, but again, I don't think that that'd be saying all that much. For the most part, though, I'd be looking for things to trade sideways here. You're going to see a little bit of drama today correlated with elections, and then likely resolution probably later this week. Thursday, Friday makes a little bit more sense to me, but at the end of the day, man, I would rather just let the range just kind of tell me what to do here. Again, above here, I'm a little bit bullish for another extension for about 300, 400 bucks. Below here, I'm a little bit bearish, for at least for extension for a medium-term time frame range for about 500 bucks to the downside. And as long as we're kind of, oscillating within it, well, I guess if I do want to be a supported resistance trader, it actually would have paid. But like I said, I am just not interested in trading in a day like today, because all sorts of weird, like diabolical things will typically happen around these times. And I'm curious, do we have anything new on a 12-hour here to be speaking about? No, not really. Overall in this one, I do think that it comes back down. That's really what I want to be on record as saying. Short term, does it extend the gains a little bit more to the upside? Yeah, it probably does even officially test at least the bottom side of this blue box territory at 13,650. But I think I'll just hold off on saying anything other than that. I think we'll have a lot more clarity in the situation tomorrow once we actually see. Oh Jesus, there's that girthy green dildo. Okay, well there's your 13,650 test right there. Hey, not bad. Not that happened a little bit faster than what I expected. That was like a minute. That was really maybe even less than a minute from when we just spoke about that. It does make me think that we probably even maybe even test the top side of the box right here. But like I said, until we actually get a closure above or below, I wouldn't really call a resolution on it. And personally speaking, I do think that the resolution of this one does come to the downside, and then we have a chance to base out at the upper 12,000s to lower 13,000s and come back after that. But hey, with it kind of charging up right here, let's see if this girthy green dildo can just fucking moon it up, baby. And like I said, if it does end up closing above 13.8, I'd look for that one to extend another 300, 400 bucks to 14.1, maybe even 14.2, and come back to it after that. But I think for now it's probably best that I just turn off the old trading view, and again, I want to be on record as saying I'm not interested in trading today. This is and typically speaking, even when I was trading traditional markets, days like today, I would just put my quotes on fucking maintenance mode and walk away and just just have like a nice day, man. Just have a nice fucking day. So with that in mind, I want to wish you a happy and healthy day, and more importantly, a safe day, because just looking at all the situations going on right now, craziness is happening. So seriously, no matter which of your fucking candidates win, or whichever gang wins this one, I hope that it's a nice day for all involved, with hopefully the least amount of fucking violence, and hopefully everyone could just join hands and be friends after this. Jesus, man, that's I don't know about that though, with the way things are going. But you can only hope for the best, man, because if you don't hope for the best, then there's no fucking point anyways, I guess. But yeah, short term, this one does look like it's gonna be a little bit going a little bit higher. And shit, could this really just absolutely destroy me, or at least destroy my analysis from this morning? It's looking like it wants to do it right now. I mean, that dildo is getting real fucking green and girthy. But I'd still kind of hold off on a reservation on this one. And there you go, actually all the way to 1734. Kind of want to stay on for a second longer and see how much higher this one gets. Have we found a short-term top at the top side of the blue box? Could it be the blue box of destiny? Yeah. Well, I suppose I'll just wait it out. So I'll just be hanging out in the Discord and shooting the shit there, and watching the market like a voyeur from afar. So with that said, I'd like to wish you the best once again. Take care, and until next time.